built it. Hey, welcome to the Gnostic Smorgasbord.
Gnostic Deluge Smorgasbord.
Where we just talk about random stuff that we're reading and looking at and theories, whatever.
If our non-smorgasbord videos aren't enough of a smorgasbord already.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Brandon keeps on alluding to different things as in our regular videos. I just want to kind of, for those ones, stick to the text, you know?
So what this is we have a problem. Mark just blamed me, but I think that it's not just me. But I think that maybe I think it's like you. Every once in a while,
Brandon gave me of the fruit, and I did eat.
Every once in a while, one of us will hijack the conversation and go off track, and really ruin the entire.
No, not ruin it.
Not ruin it, but
I'm just saying we'll stick to the text. We'll stick to the text for those ones, and then we'll kind of talk about. We haven't discussed this at all, but we're going to discuss it right here. I think that there's value in sticking to the text and to what we wanted to talk about. Yeah, because it's just on the text in the story.
Yeah, and then save the not all of the banter, but a lot of the useless banter. We have to have a podium to stand on and just rant about things, right?
Yeah.
So this is what it is.
Well, so this is after the fourth episode that we just did.
You can't tell from our clothes.
Second book.
This is literally right after that, right?
Of Adam and Eve, and there's a couple things that Brandon wanted to talk about. But first off, though, what are some things that you're reading right now? Or looking at, or podcasts, or whatever you want to.
Is this like spiritual texts or anything?
Whatever.
Okay, so
this is the smorgasbord.
I didn't know that Mark was going to ask me this question. This is pretty good. So right now, I am reading a book called "The Gardens of the Moon."
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's written.
Is it a sci-fi book?
Yeah, it's fantasy.
Oh, okay.
And it's written by the author's name is Steven Erikson.
Okay.
And it's pretty hardcore. Like, sometimes I wonder. You know, you read more of a modern fantasy sometimes, and you go, "Oh, they're so original." But then you find these ones that were written in the 80s and 90s or before, and you go, wow, these guys were doing this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a pretty good book. What I like about it the most is there's literally like 40 or 50 characters in the book, and he does a good job at building all of them up.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it is. In fact, at the very beginning of the book, there's a cast of characters that he has written out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And it's literally like 40, 50 long.
Huh.
And so it's a good book. But outside of that, right now I am reading a book called I'm trying to think of the name. I have a few books that are on around the same title. One of them, his name is Massimo I don't know how to pronounce his name. Massimo Guajuli. It's called How to Be a Stoic.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of that book?
No, but I've heard some things on Stoicism, and I was like, what is this Stoicism? And then I looked into it, like Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, and that's on my book list. I have a few. I have some of Marcus Aurelius's texts that are on my list right now as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was listening to some of his things on LibriVox, and it's just like wise sayings.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's almost like you know how you'd have one of those calendars, the 365 days of wisdom, you know, where, oh, be good to yourself today, or treat yourself, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like these it's a really practical.
So you're referring to Marcus Aurelius's, it's called the Meditations.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. And what that is, and you're right, that's kind of like so Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor general, mm-hmm. right? And so basically, when I read through that, I get the same feeling as you. Like, it seems like he's like, at the end of the day, he's just writing something wise that he learned that day.
You know, it's funny, I have one of the books I downloaded this week was on Stoicism.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah, me and Ann actually have lots of books on Stoicism right now. We've been kind of teaching to our kids a little bit, because there's some good lessons in there on how to keep yourself. You can only do what you can do. If it's out of your control, don't spend your time. Don't waste your time on things that are out of your control.
Yeah. What would you say the basic? Because it was a couple of years ago. These guys were talking about Stoicism. And that's when I kind of was like, what? It sounded kind of interesting. The basis is don't waste your time. Don't kind of like that saying, give me the patience to bear with what I need to, and the wisdom not to know the difference or whatever. That's kind of a Stoic.
And that it is, and that's why it's so appealing to me, as it's a non-religious way to, well, in a way it could be religious too, depending on how you treat it. But it's kind of a way to live your life without giving your authority to something that's going to end up letting you down anyways.
Yeah. Because I think we put a lot, I know I always put so many, or get upset about politics and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah, totally.
Dude, you have no control. They are not listening to you. They could care less. Especially,
why are you responding to Donald Trump's tweets?
Or why am I... Yeah, or why am I arguing, or even thinking about arguing with somebody I don't know about politics?
Yeah, totally. I hear
when neither of us have any control. So, okay.
So I'm reading through that, and then I'm also reading for the third time, I am reading a book written by, what's his name? Frecky? Something Frecky? Freck? It's the Hermetica.
Oh, I got it right here.
Do you have
this one?
Yeah. What's his name? Timothy Freck and Peter Gandy. So from what
actually,
Freck is the author, and Gandy's kind of like the researcher.
Yeah, we should do one on this.
Well, I'm going to mention something from there today.
Okay.
In this. Should I do it right now?
Yeah.
Or should we go to what you're reading first?
Oh no,
Can I borrow your copy of it? I have one here. You know what? Actually,
you have out. I brought my own.
Well, the thing is, I might have.
It's right by my pocket Constitution.
No, I mean I might have it marked.
Yeah. This is not marked. I'm sometimes afraid to mark up books, like the big, this. I'm afraid to mark the hardback Old Testament pseudepigrapha.
Did you see Mark just pulled his Charlesworth out? I mean,
I got it right by my pocket Constitution.
Oh, look at this. That's my. I'll talk to you about that later.
Oh, the bear. Oh, okay.
But
yeah, Brandon keeps saying, "Look to the bear," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, look, you have a little thing. Okay, so the bear is the Big Dipper.
A Little Dipper.
Oh, dang! So how much I know about.
So
Oh, you got it marked.
Yeah.
This one was so good. Brandon brought me a copy of it, and I was like, okay, what's this? And it was so good that I was like...
So let's talk about the bear first, since we're already on it.
Okay.
So the last few episodes, I've ended it with saying, look to the bear. Mm-hmm. And that's actually what I tell my kids right now, and I tell my wife Ann often. I say, look to the bear. And I tell them that when basically I say it in a way to hey, in a stoic way.
Is the bear Orion?
No, it's Polaris.
Oh, gosh,
the North Star.
Oh, right? North Star.
So, because that's what Ursa Minor. Ursa means bear. It's a little bear. Ursa Minor, the Little Dipper, is little bear.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, the reason why I tell them that is because usually there's things happening in life that cause us grief or anxiety or turmoil, right? And in a very stoic way, they're out of our control often. And so what I'll say is look to the bear. Basically,
you're the worst. Look to the bear.
I say look to the bear, and what I mean by that is, I'm not. Some people might misunderstand me and say, "Oh, he's insisting that we bypass God, or we bypass our religion or whatever, and go look to the sky and the constellation." Mm-hmm. What I mean by that though is, let me read here. Timothy Freck and Peter Gandy in this book, The Hermetica. In the introduction, they quote a segment from John Milton's Il Penserosa, which means, I think it means like
the Penserosa.
No, the something man, the magnificent man, or the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but anyways, I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up. But it says, "Or let my lamp at midnight hour be seen in some high lonely tower, where I may oft outwatch the bear, with thrice great Hermes or unsphere, the spirit of Plato to unfold what worlds or what vast regions hold, the immortal mind that hath forsook her mansion in this fleshy nook." So when I say look to the bear, I'm kind of referencing this poem by Milton, but I'm also referencing different sections of the Hermetica that also mention the bear. And I'm saying, hey, there's not a lot of things that are in our life that are constant. But the bear or the North Star is one symbolic way of people throughout time have always said, hey, everything in the sky changes all the time. But that star right there is always there. The North Star never changes. No, it does. We know that it does change. But to a mortal human on Earth in their lifetime, it will never change. And so there's not many things that are constant in our life, but the few things that are constant and that we can depend on, look to that.
Okay.
And so that's what when I say look to the bear.
And the bear, you can't outwatch the bear. It's there.
Yeah, exactly. I like that phrase. Outwatch the bear.
Like, it's seen it all. And kind of, that would be like, well, kind of like I imagine at night, well, I guess you've seen it all. Even kind of like what I'm going through.
Well, and the other thing I think about too with that poem is when I talk to people and I'm helping them with some of their issues they're having, some of the things that I'll do is I'll reference like, hey, I think about that poem, like when, at some lowly hour, my candle be seen in this high tower where I may outwatch the bear. Basically saying, hey, at the end of the day, after you've earned your money, you've worked your job, you've put your kids to bed, are you going to go and watch Game of Thrones? Or are you going to go watch the bear? Game
of Thrones.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm
saying,
no. My whole point though is whether it's video games or whatever, I'm not trying to say I don't waste my time. But what I am saying is when the hard knocks of life hit and you think to yourself, what's going on and how can I regain control, realize that there's a lot of things that you can't control. So look to the things that are constant and focus on those and realign your perspective. And so that's what I mean by that.
Okay.
So that was long, and this Smorgasbord is going to end up going to be as long as our regular videos.
No, we'll keep it. Yeah.
But so that's that.
So what I'm looking at right now, book by Leo Tolstoy.
Oh, which one?
It's the one I've been started listening to is What I Believe.
Okay.
And it's really good. But then there's the other one that's recommended, The Kingdom of God is Within.
Is that by him too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Leo Tolstoy, yeah.
Well, what's the book he's known for?
Oh, well, the book he's known for is,
he has one that
he's got one that's like
is it War or
War and Peace? Yeah, War and Peace.
Okay.
No, but he was really, and Anna Karenina.
Oh yeah, that one's also a known one. Yeah, haven't you read that one before?
No.
You haven't?
No,
maybe it was Dave who read that one.
I'm sure. Yeah, but anyway, it's more his reflections on religion and kind of the problem with religion. It's really interesting. It's really deep thought in that he's saying, as a Christian, why is it that that Christian churches have armies, or celebrate the nation, all this stuff. Anyway, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
But then another one they just uploaded onto LibriVox that I had just finished was on Atlantis. The antediluvian world.
It's on LibriVox?
Yeah, they just put it on there.
So is it an old book or is it
It's old. It's from 1882. And it's okay, you will not believe. Like, I listened to it, I was like, what? It was like,
you got a lot of books there. What are all these books on? What do you have them on? Can you share, Mark, which app you use for these books?
It's the LibriVox app.
Oh, there's an app for it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, LibriVox.
Mark uses LibriVox.
Seriously, they have a lot of good, like, Paradise Lost. That's a really good version of it.
That's on my list.
I started listening to Siddhartha, but the guy's got the story all screwed up.
Is it Hesse? Is it by Hesse?
Yeah.
Hermann Hesse?
Yeah.
It's kind of, what? That's kind of a fantasy.
But yeah, it's like not even the story. But the Atlantis, the Antediluvian World by Ignatius Loyola Donnelly. He was actually a senator.
Really?
Yeah. And he wrote it in 1880.
His name is Ignatius.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like as old Christian as you can get.
But
besides Peter or something.
The crazy thing about the book, when I was listening to it, because I was like, it must have been where Graham Hancock, he must have read it, because it's almost laid out exactly like Graham Hancock's books.
Oh, really?
Like, and the kind of the idea of,
I'm sure that he has,
of the all the different cultures and stuff coming from a common thing. Because this guy Ignatius is really good, really well researched, but he's always saying it proves that it comes from Atlantis, and it's like, well, no, you didn't prove that, but I can see what you're saying with the common thing. So, but then he wrote another book I just found out called Ragnarok.
Is it a Norse? Is it about Norse mythology or?
Maybe. Well, but the basis of it is something to do with how 12,000 years ago.
Oh, got it. Well, that's what okay.
The world was hit by a comet.
Yeah.
And destroyed the.
So he has a book like this.
Yeah. And in 1880s.
Of course.
So I'm just like, what the heck? Okay, this is all stuff that I love with Graham Hancock's books, because there's all this diverse stuff that he was kind of bringing together, and it's kind of like, and he was using all the new scientific things to be able to.
Can I ask you how you found this book? Because there's hundreds of books on audio LibriVox, right? Most of them are kind of like, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
how did you and LibriVox doesn't have like an Amazon type of like, hey, you liked this, you might also like this. How did you find it?
They do. This is in the app. Okay, so I don't know.
So do they have?
But they have a search.
Suggestions things.
Yeah, they have a search. But also, what I do is I go to recently uploaded.
Oh, okay. To see what's new.
But then they also have a thing where if you like a book, like say Paradise Lost, right? You can go to related. And
that's good.
Like,
that is kind of like an
like
Amazon
Ulysses,
type thing, right?
Faust, Crime and Punishment. These are some of the ones. Heart of Darkness for some reason. Communist Man. I don't know why Communist Man. Anyway.
Where are you going, Mark?
But anyway, so it was just one of the more recent. Like, my favorite person on there, my favorite reader is C.J. Progue.
The narrator.
Yeah, and she's done the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jasher.
Oh yeah. I have that's on my list too. I think is it Karen King's Jasher, Book of Jasher, or it's Elaine Pagels. Which one of those did the latest book on Jasher? Do you know?
That who? Oh, I don't know.
Maybe Karen King.
This one's the actual book, not just commentary on it.
Yeah, that's cool. I should pull up that app and start.
It's really cool because they had. That's one I want to do for whenever if we ever get to Abraham, because that's the one where they talk about like stories with him and Nimrod going at it.
Oh yeah.
And
where did I? Yeah. But so you got some pretty good books.
So anyway, I was like, what the heck? I just stumbled on that one, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy.
Ignatius.
Like, it's laid out. Yeah, Ignatius.
It's not the Ignatius. It's Ignatius what?
Ignatius Donnelly.
Okay, I'll look him up.
Yeah. And
that's pretty cool though. To have another, and it had that long ago to have a 12,000-year-old cataclysm.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I mean, that's before we thought Chan Thomas was like early, right? but this
is
like
Chantal. Yeah. And so anyway, I just stumbled on that, and all the information's really good, really interesting. And I'm not saying it's 100%, because he talks about like anyway, but he tells the complete at the very beginning. He tells the complete story of Atlantis that we have, from Plato, and then goes into he talks about Peru and how they're related to
the
Egyptians,
Machu Picchu,
different all kinds of different stuff.
Crazy, you're all over the place, Mark.
So that's what I looked at.
Well, good. I think you have a lot. You have a lot of audio time.
Yeah,
you can get a lot of stuff done.
That's why I spend a lot. Yeah, where I can burn through a book, like.
I should just quit my job and start listening to books so I can catch up with Mark.
Yeah, you should. No. Oh, but okay. So
we want to talk about Dark Soil.
Well, what's the ship under the? Okay. So what's the Dark Soil? Okay, so we were talking about
in the previous episode that we just did. We talked about there was a part where Adam was basically giving instructions to Seth, saying, "Hey, take my body when I'm dead, embalm it, mummify it and stuff, and store it in the Cave of Treasures. And then when this flood that's going to happen someday, have Noah. I don't think he names him by name, but have my body taken.
Yeah.
In the ark, and he even says the word ark. So take my body in the ark, and then when the water goes back down, and when you are in a new world again, and you're restarting for fresh, bury my mummified body in the earth." And I think it might even said also in the ship.
Let me look.
Did it say that?
I don't think so.
It says over and over inside of the earth.
Yeah, here we go. Then shall they take my body and lay it in the middle of the earth shortly after they have been saved from the waters of the flood. For the place where my body is laid is the middle of the earth.
Okay.
So it doesn't say it says bring it in the ship.
So I immediately got imagery of an article that I read a while back about them finding in Egypt at the base of is Khufu's pyramid the Great Pyramid, or is it Khafre's? Anyways, one of the pyramids of Giza, they found a ship that was buried at the base of the pyramid, and it's Khufu's ship. And I'm not going to say that was actually Khufu's pyramid, but what I am saying is they call it Khufu's pyramid, and they attributed that boat to being Khufu's. Anyways, I thought of that when we were going through that section, and then I also thought when we mentioned Dark Soil.
Oh yeah.
So I thought of Dark Soil, and there's another part where in the second book of Adam and Eve, and we just talked about this last episode, when they mention how the children of Seth are going to...
They're children of Cain.
Children of Seth are going to go down to the children of Cain. They mentioned that the dark soil.
Yeah, that the children of Cain had gone to the land of dark soil.
They've gone to the land of dark soil.
Yeah.
And I know that Egypt is often referred to as the land of the Black Earth.
It is?
Yes.
I've always called it Egypt.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is I think...
I'm just joking.
There is... Google it. I didn't Google it between filming this last episode and now, so I haven't done my research. But I'm pretty sure that Egypt means... One of the definitions of Egypt is Black Earth. And, so...
Yeah, and one of the things that kind of going along with what you're saying about this whole Egyptian thing and this weird, like, okay, first off, they're embalming these bodies.
Mummifying them.
They're mummifying them. Yeah, they're wrapping them. They're putting different stuff on them. They're preserving them for, so it's almost like they're and I know that it used to be believed that the pyramids were burial things. But
correct.
It ended up...
They turn out to not be burial places.
It seems to not be, but they would still, even where they put their things, they would mummify them
Do you watch Jimmy's YouTube channel?
The
Bright Insight.
I've watched a couple.
So I'm not.
He's always like.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah. He's kind of like a armchair historian.
Yeah.
And I really like his videos.
Okay, well, yeah.
But he often refers to how there has never been any mummies found in any pyramid.
Yeah.
So I think
that's what that Graham Hancock talks about that too. It's just like they're going on old science that they used to, and even their dates and stuff with all the new technology they have for dating. You know that that Egyptology hasn't changed a lot, and I'm not. You know, just
What are you saying, Mark? You dissing Egyptology?
No. But I mean, shoot, they were able to break the code. You know, read it.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, I'm not saying that, but one of the things, and it can be good too, is that when something's been established, it's hard to change it.
Correct. People's paychecks rely on it.
Yeah.
Their credibility relies on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, I mean, but it's just interesting that but this is where I was going. There's this mountain.
Yeah.
And there's this cave in there. There's these sacred relics placed out. You know, and this is more of a worship place. There's even dead bodies of past priests that they're using in their worship.
Correct.
And so whenever they go through the flood and everything, what's maybe the first thing they do? Build this mountain that symbolizes the mountain of the Lord, you know, that they used to live on. I don't know.
Good point. I like it.
Maybe Adam's body is buried under the.
I'm okay with
the pyramid.
I'm okay with the pyramids actually existing before the flood and after the flood.
Oh.
I see both. I can go both ways, and so I don't lean towards one or the other.
Well, whether Egypt was even hurt by the floods, we don't even.
Yeah.
You know.
You know that all that water erosion around the Sphinx. You know.
Well, but that was supposedly because of in the past it was a lot
of water there.
Yeah. But I don't know.
So yeah, anything else you want to go off and on tangent about, or are you good? You got?
No, I mean, next episode we'll talk about.
I got one more thing.
Did you have a flood myth that you like particularly that we can use? Like I was like, because I was thinking, I don't actually with these different even biblical things. There's not a different flood myth. I was like, maybe we can use one from the Chaldeans or the South Americans, you know, to kind of have a different take on the flood or see how similar it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know if I know any of them well enough to pull the
I was thinking
differences out of them.
We go to the Mesopotamian one.
Oh, he has a book that he just has sitting there. Which one is this?
Well, no,
Is this Epic of Gilgamesh?
Well, it's got the Epic of Gilgamesh, but I was like, oh, maybe we can do the Mesopotamian because it's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, so for all of our viewers, leave in the comments about what flood stories you want to...
What flood myth.
Flood myths you want us to go over.
Because then there's the one where they don't actually go in a boat, they go into the ground.
Yeah. Underground cities. I think there's been...
what's the whole thing about...
Underground cities, that's another thing. I'm not... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak to it. All I know is they exist and that there's many of them. And they're not just like little villages either. There's some that are massive.
Yeah.
So, but I think they're all pretty, like, eroded and old, where we can't really date them very well. I don't want to, like, try with speculation.
Okay.
I thought of one thing real quick. We're done. At the end of one of the last things that so the Hermetica is about the teachings of a man who became a god. His name is Hermes Trismegistus or the thrice great, right? But they also associate him with Thoth, the Egyptian god of records and knowledge as a whole.
Yeah.
And then of course there's also association with Thoth and Hermes, the thrice great, with Enoch, who we talked about.
Well, yeah, there's one thing that you've kind of, and I'm like, what?
With Enoch, and I see a lot of similarities. And first of all,
why do you associate Thoth with Enoch?
Well, I think when in my Hebrew studies, and I was in school, when I was studying religion in school, there was always a lot of association with Enoch and Thoth.
Oh, okay. So there's actual
because
it's common.
It's a common. I think it's a common thing, and I think there's a lot of people who theorize that they're the same person. But the thing is there's the story of Thoth is interesting because he's one of the only, or if not the only, of the Egyptian gods that they actually admit that he wasn't always a god. He became a god because of how great he was. And
he's the one that travels around and helps people out, right? Sometimes
I believe maybe
possibly.
And then Hermes in the Hermetica, does the same type of thing. And then there's that Graham Hancock actually narrates the lament of the lament of Hermes,
mm-hmm.
right? And basically it's like, hey, Egypt, you're going to go south here.
Yeah.
And people are going to forget the love, and they're going to like reject the earth and all these things. And I was thinking about that when we're giving this imagery of Enoch on the mountain, like don't go down there, we're gonna
down south. And then he's also writing a book.
And then he mentions how he had to write a book.
Yeah, and actually that's the first mention of anybody recording something like that.
Yeah, and it mentions that in the Hermetica.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. And watch, it's probably one of the ones that I have not marked. But what was it?
Attune. Remember Attune?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's totally.
Yeah. So that's what you're talking about.
See, there's words on the bear there too. But anyways, maybe next what is it called? Smorgasbord. Next Smorgasbord, I can talk about that. But I was immediately thinking of Hermes the Thrice Great when we are reading about Enoch and him like trying to keep things in order before basically everything fell apart. So that's all I got.
Okay.
We probably did this in under what we think is 20?
Probably 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or something, maybe. Yeah. So anyway, future episodes. I mean, we got to think. Like, I'd like to do, like you said, the Hermetica. Obviously, Enoch.
Yeah.
Which is just a really interesting story. We'll have to kind of pick.
I think we're doing Enoch next, right?
Because it can be so long. There's so much like stuff in there with even being taken up into heaven.
There's no way we can go start and just read it all. Yeah.
But we'll have to whittle down our thing. And then anyway, there's so much good stuff out there. So
all right,
keep it up.
Thanks, Mark.
All right.
Thanks, viewers.
All of you.
All right.